Hey everyone, and welcome to 5 Minute Fridays. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. Well, if you've been following along, you know that we are in 1 Corinthians chapter 16, which is the last chapter in 1 Corinthians. And so some bittersweet news here. This will be our last 5 Minute Friday video for now. We might possibly come back sometime in the future to pick this up or maybe do something a little bit different. But for the time being, this is where we will end our 5 Minute Friday videos. And so I want to truly thank you for tuning in, especially if you've been tuning in for the last few months, or actually the last year. We have just about 52 videos, a little over 52 videos. And so I encourage you to go back and watch them. Share this with friends and family. Like I say quite often, you could do one video a year for a whole year of devotional videos. And if you've missed any, if you go back to the previous, the beginning of the playlist, we have a lot of videos with different topics like prayer and discipleship. And then we got into the Gospel of John, and we're finishing here with 1 Corinthians. So let's get into today's video. 1 Corinthians chapter 16, like I said, this is Paul's final chapter of the book to the Corinthian believers. And so this is his farewell or his exhortation, his encouragement to these Corinthian believers. So I encourage you to read it. One verse really, or two verses really stuck out to me as I read this, and they're right in the middle of the chapter. I feel like they would be two good verses to end the chapter, but Paul throws them right there in the middle. And so verse 13 and 14, Paul says this, and this is so applicable to us. He says, "Watch, stand fast in the faith, be brave, be strong, and let all that you do be done with love." So how true that was for the Corinthian believers and how true that is for us. And Paul here is speaking of military terms. And so the first one he says is watch. And so as the Roman soldiers would do, they would be on guard, right? They would be watching, they would be on guard against the enemy. And our enemy is Satan. And so all these things we are doing, we can do towards the enemy, Satan. So watch, stand fast. This one was interesting. So, you can look back at the Greek or look in the context when we're reading the Bible, and this one speaks about a military term of standing fast. And a story was shared in one of the videos or one of the articles I was reading about how the Roman soldiers would put metal shards or metal pieces in their sandals so that when they were withstanding the enemy, especially if they were in a line with other soldiers with their shields, they could dig into the ground with those metal pieces in their sandals, and they could stand fast, and they would be immovable against the enemy. So Paul is encouraging us to do that. And finally, he says, be strong. As a soldier, you would have to work out, you would have to exercise. And so as believers, we can do those things spiritually. And what does that look like? That looks like prayer, meditation, fasting, serving, all of these different things that we can do as a believer to honor God and honor other people. So be brave, watch, stand fast, be strong. And he finishes off in verse 14 by saying, do all these things in love. And without love, none of those things matter. We do all these things in love. And all those things we talked about in verse 13, they are not against other people. It's only against the enemy that we do these things. We are to love other people even if we feel like they are our enemies. Because we probably were an enemy to somebody one day who was a believer, but now we've given our lives to the Lord. Now we're on the same team that they are. And so let's not fight against one another. Let's fight against Satan, the real enemy, who has only come to kill, to steal, and to destroy. We battle against him for two things: for the love of others and for the glory and the honor in the service of God. So hold on to those two verses. I feel like that's a great two verses to end our video here. To be strong, be brave, stand fast, but do all these things in love. You see, there's a lot of believers who are on the love side, and that's all they got is love, but they don't have these this strength, or they don't have the law, or that. But then there's others who are all about the law and all about strength, and they're missing love. Jesus is the one who pulls together grace and truth, and he is our example. So pray for maybe more love in your life, or maybe pray for more strength and determination, will, strength in your life. Well, God bless you. Thanks for tuning in for this video. Again, thank you for tuning in for all these videos. And I encourage you to go back, pick up some of these videos. It's something I'm going to do. Go back and listen to myself and learn from what God has shown me over the last year. God bless you. And I pray that you have a great rest of your summer. And don't forget to come worship with us at Calvary Chapel, Myrtle Beach. You can find all of our information on our website at ccmyrtlebeach.com. We worship Sunday mornings and Wednesday nights, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.